Hello everyone. In today's video, I am going to make a horror game, but in only 24 hours. So let's start without wasting any time. I have decided to make a monster which would be blind, means players have to avoid getting detected while walking around him. I will start by making a simple monster design. Let's take a normal NPC first. I want the monster to be tall with thin limbs. Let me make it really quick.
A few moments later.
Uh, so here is the model. It looked pretty goofy. Anyways, now let's start by making a walk animation. Okay, so finally the animation is ready. Let's play it. This looks bad, but anyways, we don't have enough time. Now I will make a run animation.
Much later.
Okay, so the running animation is done as well. All right, so now I am going to make a crouch system, since this game will be about being sneaky, so I thought to make a crouch system. So let's add a folder to replicated storage first, and name it as Crouch Animations. Okay, so let's add two animation in this folder. I will name first animation as Crouch Idle, and the second one as Crouch Walk. Crouch Walk. I will make a crouch button for mobile users. Let's add a screen GUI and name it as Crouch GUI. And add an image button inside it. I will name it as Crouch Button. Now I am going to scale this button so that it won't run out of the screen. Okay, so now let's test it. According to system, I should crouch by pressing C on the keyboard. Okay, so this is working. And as you can see, there are two distinct animations. One is for idle, and one is when I move while crouching. So next, I have decided to make a sprint system with a stamina bar. Let's start by adding another folder in replicated storage and naming it as Movement Animations. All right, now I will add two animations in it and will name the first one as Walk and the second one as Sprint. These two animations have different roles. This animation named Walk will be played when player is walking normally. Meanwhile, this sprint animation will be played when player walks while pressing Shift key or sprint button. Next, I made a sprint button just like the crouch button. So here is a screen GUI. Let's name it as Sprint GUI. Here goes an image button inside it. I will name it as Sprint Button. Now let's scale it just like the crouch button. I will place it above the crouch button and make it slightly bigger than the crouch button. Let's put an image ID here for the sprint button. Next, I am going to make a stamina bar for this sprint system, so let's add a frame in the sprint GUI and name it as Sprint Bar. Later, I added one more frame inside this stamina bar and named it Background, since it will be the background of the bar. After that, I added another bar inside this background and named it as Fill. I then scaled and colored them. As you can see, this blue bar is the fill frame, and this dark gray bar behind it is background. Okay, so since our sprint system is also ready, now let's test it. So, as we can see, my default walk animation is changed to the walk animation from the folder, and when I will press sprint, my animation changes, my speed increases, and the stamina bar below starts draining. When this stamina bar will be 0, I won't be able to run. Now let's come back to this dude. So let's make a proper AI, which will detect player, check their state and distance. But for now, I am going to make a simple pathfinding so that it can avoid walls and objects in his path. Also, while no player has been detected, I don't want him to stand idle forever, so we will make a roaming system. First, I will add a server script inside his model. Let's name it pathfinding. Okay, so this script is ready. As you can see, there are many parts. At the top, there are the variables. Then here is the walk animation and the other animations. Each will be played on different situations. Okay, so now let's test it. All right, it works. Instead of being idle, it walks randomly around. Now let's test it once with walls, that if he avoid walls or just walks blindly into them. Okay, so now let's test it again and check if it does work. It's working correctly. Avoid walls around him. Okay, so now let's continue further. All right, I have completed everything in that Pathfind script, including detection part, and I have also fixed few bugs and added effects. So let's test it. Okay, so he is roaming around according to our script. Now let's test the detection part. Also, I have made a death screen GUI. When I reset, a screen appears with a fade and transition. It has two options, spectate and back to lobby. When you click spectate, a spectate bar appears, and you can switch to players using these arrows. Okay, so I have made this map. I know it's not large enough and pretty rough, but since the lack of time, I can get this only. This open part here will be the exit, from where the players will escape. Now let's have a look to this map. I think it would look better with few changes in lightings. Let me make lights slightly better. All right, it looks pretty good now. Let's move further. Okay, so finally I have completed the main system for this game, and I have added a lot of things. I have made a cutscene for intro. This folder named cutscene has all things related to it, and here is the main door from where players can escape. So let me explain how the game will go on. So when the game starts, an intro cutscene will be played with all the instructions. As the cutscene ends, that monster we made earlier in the video will be spawned in the map, and a timer of 5 minutes will start above each player's screen. During those 5 minutes, players need to survive the monster, and as the timer ends, a key will spawn in one of these spawns in this folder. Players need to find the key and open the main door to escape. Now at last, let's make a lobby from where players will start the game. Let's add a new place to assets. Let's name it as lobby and the game as main game. Let's make a lobby really quick. Okay, finally, here is the lobby I made. These are some cues from where players can join. Okay, so our game is ready to play. Let's publish it. If you want to test this game, you can find its link in the description.